Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40k Universe. I am your host, Gershwin, and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today we continue talking about the Blood Drinkers. This 40 Facts is going to give a good explanation as to why I believe that the Blood Angels themselves, the Blood Angels chapter, is going to be traitorous. If you read the lore and you learn more about the Red Thirst and the Black Rage, and you understand what the Blood Drinkers are doing, you'll understand why I believe that the Blood Angels are destined for chaos, basically. Again, guys, if you guys have any suggestions for topic ideas, or if you guys have any opinions on the Blood Angels becoming traitorous, please comment down below. But let's get into 40 facts about the Blood Drinkers. While the Blood Drinkers appear to have attained a level of control over the Blood Angels' flaw, exceeding even that of their progenitor Legion, such appearances are deceptive. The entirety of the chapter's rituals and observances are based on the consumption of massive quantities of blood, though the source of the blood used in these ceremonies is unknown, as is the form of these rituals. It is assumed that this blood is taken from individual battle brothers, or some sort of slain predator, whose qualities are coveted. Some detractors whisper that this blood is taken unwillingly from captives, fallen enemies, or even from the innocent. The Blood Drinkers go to great lengths to conceal these blood rites from any and all outsiders, for none have witnessed their sanguinary rites, not even their brethren amongst the Blood Angel successor chapters. They appear to be in control over the flaw. The Blood Drinkers may have more than likely doomed themselves in some other unforeseen way. Their future remains just as uncertain as that of the remainder of their fellow scions of Sanguinius. The rite of Holos is the rite that is ritually practiced by the Astartes of the Blood Drinkers chapter. This rite of blood involves the assembly of the battle brothers of the chapter within their individual vessels or fortress monasteries reclusiums that are called the Hall of Life. They stand shoulder to shoulder, dressed in simple scarleted trousers, with black tabards embroiled with the yellow blood drop and chalice of the chapter. The decorated belts they habitually wear, denoting their roles and ranks within the chapter, are absent. Tech Marines stand with the battle brothers, neophytes with initiates, stripping off their badges. All are equal for the rites of Holos. For the duration of the ritual, the matter of their brotherhood is paramount. Distinction of rank or suborder is unimportant, a distraction from the fundamental sameness in the face of the thirst. Only the sanguinary priest and chaplain stand apart, all bearing their mark of office. Crozius and chalice gleaming in the chamber's light, they flank the major portals leading into the main room. 10 sanguinary guards stand behind them, armed and armored, 5 with the chaplain, 5 with the sanguinary priests. Through the use of ritual bloodletting, the chapter serfs willingly offer their precious vitals to their ravenous masters. During the ritual, the battle brothers take their assigned positions in outlying alcoves all along the chamber's wall. The serfs all have thin metal tubing all over them, the ways to their arteries and the fluids that sustain the chapter. From the alcoves, the serfs have their metal tubes connected, draining their precious blood, which flows freely into the channels cut into the floor and poured into the large depression sunk into a granite floor in the center of the chamber. Its shape cut into the blood drop of the chapter. At the narrow end of the drop, an altar soars high. A relief of helmetless armored battle brothers circle it, carved by red carnelian, each one with a skull for his head, bowed over hands clasped around the hilt of a sword and axe. Upon the altar, channels are cut. The channels run from these points together, then as one lead to an apex of a dropped blood. This is where the Blood Drinkers ritually sacrifice a helpless mortal in the service of the Emperor, the chapter's monstrous price for their ravenous bloodthirst, known as the blood tithe. Later, when the thirst is quenched, the chapter's reclusiarch will lead them in a prayer of atonement, and then for preparation, they will reaffirm their oath to the Emperor and beg forgiveness for one another and their lives they have taken. The Tech Marines will take a measure of blood from the brothers themselves to placate the chapter's weapons and armor. Only then, with the beast inside them tamed, will the brothers' mind turn fully to the battle and the destruction of man's foes. The Blood Drinkers firmly believe that the blood is the key, and that denial was not the answer. They will not quake before their appetite as their brother chapters do, though they believe that the monster within them cannot be defeated it cannot be denied either. They believe that it can be controlled, its strength borrowed. Through these rituals, the blood drinkers believe they have found their salvation from the genetic flaw that raves the scions of Sanguinius. But the truth behind the blood drinkers' supposed salvation is far more insidious. When Brother Holos ascended Mount Calicium and spoke with the angelic vision, some within the chapter believed this to be none other than Primarch Sanguinius, who imparted to his genetic son how to save his dying chapter. However, the truth behind the rites of Holos is that the brother saint was visited not by an angel, but by a demon. Though the identity of this never-born is unknown, it is highly suspected that it was much likely the demon lord Carios Fateweaver, Tzeentch's vizier, and the first amongst the great conspirators' pantheon of greater demons. Holos made a devil's bargain with the demon lord in exchange for the knowledge of the blood drinker's ritual that would grant his chapter salvation, saving thousands of his chapter's battle brothers from the dark fate of the Death Company. Carios would gain the ability to alter the vision of a selected few Death Company Astartes. Instead of receiving the usual visions of their angelic Primarch's death, they would instead receive visions of Holos and the demon lord himself. The blood drinkers firmly believe that the Black Rage is a blessing, not a curse. Those few great heroes within their chapter granted these visions do not see what other scions of Sanguinius saw. Though there were few who were blessed with these visions, they were believed to be gloriously blessed, while their brothers all saw the cause of their damnation within the death of their Primarch at the hands of Horus. The blood drinkers who were granted these demonic visions witnessed the moment of their supposed salvation, the climb of Brother Holos, and the very thing that set them free. This was what the blood drinkers believed, and among all of the sons of the blood angels, they felt hope. By the 39th millennium, 18 brothers had witnessed these visions, and Carios had spoken to each of these battle brothers through these memories, tempting them with the powers of chaos. If one battle brother even as much as contemplates accepting the demon lord's offering, the blood drinkers will be damned and fall to the ruinous powers. Thus far, all have refused the demon lord's offering, but Fateweaver is patient, waiting for only one battle brother to utter a single yes, and damning the chapter forevermore. Only the chapter's reclusiarch know the truth behind the rites of Holos, though it is not known if they truly wish for the chapter to fall. Unlike the other Blood Angel successor chapters, the Blood Drinkers are strict followers of the holy rite of the Codex Astartes, and are organized accordingly. From all outward signs, the Blood Drinkers appear to have overcome the worst aspects of the flaw of Sanguinius, and while they still maintain a death company, it appears that far fewer of its battle brothers fall to the Black Rage. In the 887th year of the 39th millennium, the Space Hulk Death of Integrity was seen near the world of Sol Secundus. The ancient ruin had been encountered twice before in recent centuries, each time preceding the appearance of Tyranid forces upon nearby worlds. The general call for immediate Adeptus Astartes assistance was issued, with members of the first company of both the Blood Drinkers and the Nova Marines chapter responding to the call for assistance. Exhibiting a tremendous amount of cooperation, the two chapters deployed nearly 200 Space Marines equipped with Terminator armor to the massive Hulk. Over the course of 2 months, the combined forces thoroughly purged the Space Hulk of a rampant Genestealer infestation. Both chapters suffered losses, as the Xenos were well suited for battle within the cramped and toxic environment. Though the battle was costly in terms of damage to armor and loss of life, the ultimate prize was stunning. Hidden deep within the Hulk's ruin was a remarkably well-preserved standard template construct, which contained data on hosts of lost technologies. The Adeptus Mechanicus gladly accepted this priceless artifact, and went so far as to repay each chapter with a newly commissioned strike cruiser. The Blood Drinkers came to Jericho Reach at the close of the 816th year of the 41st millennium, mere months before the first tendrils of High Fleet Dagon struck the world of Castobel. Some say that the chapter was drawn to Castobel by the scent of blood, the two companies of battle brothers taking up residency in the highest spire of Hive Ibilios and fortifying it. It was not long before the Tyranid struck, and when they did, the Blood Drinkers were ready. The Hive stood firm against the billion-strong horde, the noble, almost blissful battle brothers manning the walls and setting such an example for the Hive militia. It is said that the men sang with joy as they fought, knowing that they could never fail. It was only later that dark rumors began to circulate, despite the best efforts of the militia's commissars and the hive enforcers. Some claim that the Xenos infiltrators were stalking the hives by night, but others spun a far more disturbing yarn. The rumors told of people being dragged screaming from their beds late at night, and the terrible, blood-curdling cries emanating from the spire that the blood drinkers used as their headquarters. Still later, it was said that enforcer patrols found corpses deep in the hive sinks, battered and pulped as if thrown from the greatest height of the spire. None could locate the source of these tales, which many rumor mongers claim was proof in itself that something was afoot. The people of the hive were fighting for their very existence against a foe that might have overwhelmed them months ago, were it not for the heroic deeds of the blood drinkers. And so for now, at least, a few blood-drained corpses, easily blamed on alien stalkers, were the least of their worries. In the year 226 of the 37th millennium, a combined force of blood angels, angels Encarmine, and blood drinkers engaged with traitor forces on the archaeotech world of Hell's Hollow. Though the cultist hosts were swiftly put to death, the attack came too late to prevent their completion of a heretical ritual. The veil was pierced, and a tide of demons spilled through the macro cities of Hell's Hollow. The Blood Angels and their brethren reacted to this new development with typical encouragement and resolve. The main strength of the strike force was deployed in a series of holding actions, stemming the demonic tide long enough for the Death Company to be hurled against the ritual site itself. Amid an orgy of violence, the black-armored battle brothers slaughtered everything in their path, closing the rift at the price of their own lives. And those were 40 facts about the blood drinkers. We have more blood drinker lore to come. There's going to be a part 3, so subscribe to the channel, and subscribe to the channel if you want any other Warhammer 40k Space Marine chapters to be covered. Comment down below, let me know what Space Marine chapter you guys would like us to create a video for. And again, thank you so much for liking, commenting, and sharing. Don't forget to visit the wiki page, link is in the description. You'll learn more information there, like their battle cry, just more information in the wiki page. And again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in every single day to watch us. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. This was Gershwin with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.